Before we dive into the different options there are for recovery, let's talk briefly on what sobriety from sex addiction actually looks like, because that can be kind of scary in this realm and kind of confusing. If the area of addiction one struggles in is a substance like alcohol or drugs, then abstaining from the substance is defined as sobriety. But what does that mean for behavioral areas of addiction, like sex? Sex isn't inherently wrong, it's not inherently unhealthy or immoral, and it is indeed tied to our humanity. So, generally speaking, the goal for recovery from sex addiction is not a complete abstaining from sexual behavior or thoughts and activities altogether, though that absolutely is an option. Some people choose celibacy as a path, and that works for them. That's okay if that's something that you want to explore. That can totally be your version of sobriety. But in general, when we talk about sobriety from sexual addiction, we're talking about abstaining from the behaviors that were causing harm to you and your life. It might mean a shifting of those behaviors or abstaining from them entirely. The goal when I work with people in this area of addiction is to have their fullest life, which includes a full, happy, yummy, sexy sex life as well. That requires being in a state of consciousness where you're able to make active choices with a healthy brain and a healthy perspective in order to have your needs met. Really, what underlies addiction, especially when we initially started using it as a coping mechanism, is an attempt to meet appropriate needs in inappropriate ways. So recovery and sobriety for sex addiction really just looks like finding appropriate ways to meet appropriate needs. It's a matter of having the right tools to get what you truly are needing and wanting, which usually doesn't have to do with the sexual reacting out behavior that we are learning about in this course. Because our sexuality is so closely tied to our humanity, sobriety has to be self-defined, which maybe is not easy right in the beginning. And we're going to talk about the importance of having a team around you for recovery in the next section. But really, healthy sexuality is defined by each individual, and recovery helps bring us to a place where we're able to make healthy decisions to have the life we want and be the person we want living it. Not so scary after all. You might need a period of abstaining from all sexual behavior for a time in order for your brain to heal in the ways we talked about in the brain section. That might sound terrifying and your brain might freak out because it's tied to that survival, but just know that everything is fluid when we're in recovery. We grow, our recovery grows. We grow, our healthy sexuality grows. We grow, our options grow. So I just encourage you to stay open-minded with what sobriety will feel like and look like for you, and what behaviors, activities, thoughts, whatever it might be that you've been engaging with that have brought you into this course to begin with. And those are probably the things that you'll want to abstain from and or shift in big ways that are healthy for you in time. So yes, sobriety and sex addiction can look like celibacy, a complete abstaining from all sexual behavior, but it doesn't have to. The recovery avenues we're going to talk about in the next section will help you decide for yourself what sexual sobriety looks like for you at any given stage in life. So I'll see you over there in that next section.